There, guys. Join me as I just wind down and come to the end of yesterday. I don't know what the dates are, and enter into today. If I have a look, hang on, where's I've got a calendar up here actually. I should actually use it, really, shouldn't I? But anyway, I'm taking it day by day, moment by moment, minute by minute, because I never, ever, ever know what's coming my way, what's coming around me, what's moving, shaking, what other people are bringing towards me. So I can literally just every step of the way just go with my own heart, go with my own intention, go with my own intuition and stand my ground basically when I feel the time is right. And it's very difficult for someone like me to be in such a busy city and around so many people, and also live in and YouTubing and having people coming up and talking to me about it and wondering what it's about and what I'm doing and what I'm talking about, and having to be accountable as well. So, but wow, what a night, 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 what a night. And do you know what? Shiloh was so beautiful. He had gone for a sleep. He'd had a bit of a really rough day today, bless him. He's had injury with his jumps and things like this and his lips, and he's getting used to his body. And obviously, Elijah has also had an injury. But Shiloh, when he woke up, he just said, "Park, mummy." And I said, "Yeah, sure. Should we just get dressed and go to the park?" And he come up and he gave me this really big hug and just sort of said, "Thank you." And we went out to the park. But I sort of packed for a bit of a walk because I can't always cope with it around here. But the irony was, after my live with the kids, funny enough, his mum come around the corner and I got to have a chat with his mum. And and we headed down to the beach and we've had lots of conversations, but we didn't quite make it down to the beach. And as you know, we ended up at, I'm loving this African beach. I have literally just let go and taken my moving and shaking to a whole new level with this African beat. And I have had so many much positive feedback about, am I a real professional dancer? Do I dance? Blah, 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 and all this sort of stuff. And I've networked up with some people tonight as well. Some of them are producers and things like that. But the most important one was somebody who works at one of our local nurseries here who's awake. And I've been having quite an interesting conversation with her. And she's going to meet up with me and we're going to chat and talk about how I feel about nursery, what she feels working for the nursery, and things like that. And then I'll come home and I'm online and I'm going through my social media. I don't go on Crackbook at the moment or Twitter. I haven't been checking that, but I do check like in my emails when they come through. But I went on my LinkedIn and I've been searched only because it come up on my emails, and I've been searched by quite a top white collar barrister from Westminster. So I don't know what's coming my way with that way. But someone said to me tonight, there's going to be people telling you you're mad, but you are not mad. And don't let anybody let you feel or believe that way. And it was the most beautiful thing to be said. And I've had so many conversations with people and listened to so many people, and it's just beautiful. And the amount of people that will vote for me if I stay here and run as MP, that's if Parliament exists in 4 years' time, let's see. Um, so Parliament's not necessarily the problem, is it? So, and the people are not necessarily the problem. It's just that to see something from somebody else's point of view and someone's perspective is a really difficult thing to do. And I have that gift and I have that skill, and it's a beautiful thing to have. But it means sometimes you can just see how such a breakdown of communication and conflict of interest, and there's just so many things going on right now. But it really is time now for people to understand the political war that is going on around us and the media war and all of the stuff. We here in the UK don't have a proper re-vote until another 4 years now. But in America, obviously, it's very big. And obviously, as you know, the WHO, the World Health Organization, runs from New York. I don't know if it is Soros that's behind it, or if they're opposing, or if he actually is the main funder for this. So I believe he may be. I'm not 100% sure. I don't get involved with the Jewish wars either. I haven't understood everything going on yet. It's been 10 years since I put my head above the parapet, and nearly 10 years. And I've been showing you videos today of things that were spoken about 10, 11, 12 years ago. Obviously, this is something from hundreds of years ago, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 years ago. The this is something different, but I'd be very interested to see what these barristers are interested in googling me over for. And the good thing about LinkedIn is when someone searches you on there, it tells you immediately. So I've got to have a look all the way through his profile. It's on my YouTube thing. Um, so yeah, the boys have had a wonderful night. It's been interesting because I've had to break barriers, and then obviously we got home late. But the funny thing was, is as we were leaving, don't forget today is the law that you can only meet in six, the devil's number. And obviously we were in a collective of about 30, 40 people down there tonight. And literally, as I was getting packed up to leave, one of the police wagons started coming around the side, and I get high anxiety in situations like that, and I just want to get out. And I was talking to the girl who works at the nursery, obviously, she was tipsy, she was drunk, she was having a party, it was a birthday party. So, she was really cool. And all of a sudden, I got a little bit more high anxiety because obviously I wanted to move away from the area and from the police. But the funny thing was, is they went one way, so I went home. And then the irony was that all of a sudden, we've got this crossing. It's a beautiful crossing, actually, because they put a rainbow on it. And the police actually pulled up. So there's me getting the kids to wave at the police, thinking, I don't even know what the time is. My battery's gone flat. I need to look at my phone. So getting the kids to wave and wave. I don't really have high anxiety. I'm not putting my head down. Yay. So anyway, we then get over to the other side of the road, and all of a sudden, the fucking blue lights go on, and Elijah's waving, and the policeman shouts out the window. Um, yeah, I thought we'd put the sirens on for him, and I'm going, yeah, fucking fantastic, great, brilliant, yay. But as I'm walking away, I'm thinking, do you know what? This is actually really nice. And it would be really nice if actually the coppers had gone, hey, Kelly, you all right? Do you want to throw the buggy in the back and we'll run you home? That would have been lovely. Do you know what I mean? But like, oh my goodness, could you imagine? Oh, seriously, could you imagine if that copper had said, hey, Kel, I know you got bad hoops and all of this, and I did bug on my hip tonight, right? But could you imagine if a copper had actually said that to me? I would be in, oh, seriously, 2 seconds, guys. This is like, seriously, guys, you've got to get into this music. It's just fucking epic. This is it. I've been dancing to this tonight, and it's like happy clapping. Oh, I don't get a lot of this stuff. No, this is where the African culture is misled in materialism of the Western world. And I'm finding the psychology of it really interesting because I'm quite protective of the African Americans at the moment with everything that Bill Gates is doing and stuff. So, um, but anyway, I'm not there. I'm not over there. I don't necessarily know everything that's going on, but I've had such a wicked night tonight. And the great thing about it is what I love when I express myself and I dance and stuff is I did get some girl come up to me and we were like messing around and stuff, and it was cool. But I think because people think I'm a professional dancer and they don't understand my body, they sort of leave me alone in this amazing, great way to just express myself. That, well, if you go to cheesy clubs and stuff, they don't sort of let you just get on because obviously professional dancers are paid, and professional dancers don't want people who are professional dancers in their club, which is what the problem Dean has. Um, so it was so nice tonight because I was sort of let go, and I went to a whole new level myself as well because it was a completely different genre. I was with different people. I was pushed to a bit of a level because I was wound up to sort of like give it a bit of a go, and I just thought, fuck it. What's the point of being half-hearted with everything that I'm doing right now? This is an opportunity, and I might as well embrace it. I'm not with anybody that if they turn around and go, "Well, were you having an epileptic fit?" that it's really gonna matter. I'm just gonna come home and think, okay. But actually, that wasn't the feedback that I got. People were like, have you got YouTubers in properly? Do you? And I got to YouTube down because I asked them as well. And it's a shame, but I'll tell you one thing that was really cool. Let me just say this. They put a light on the back and it went over the top of my head, and I was shadowing down on the floor underneath a tree. So it's given me an inspiration. And the irony was, guess where I was? Where do I always keep saying? Meet me at the tree. And the lovely thing was, is I then went on the sandpit with the boys for a bit, and I ended up with all of their kids on with me, and we were doing all the little slidey things and stuff, which was absolutely really lovely. And it was a really lovely set of people. And because I am going to stay here in Portsmouth, it's time. this left, this right, this lots of people with lots of money that are able to manipulate and control people through PR, marketing, and all of these strategies and strategy. It's amazing having a strategy. But when you've got an agenda with something and it's moving and shaking and influencing in other people's lives, you should be sharing that information in an open, honest, and true way so everybody can come together. But if people don't want to get involved with politics, that's up to them. But is politics completely bullshit? The Bible said, don't argue with that stuff at the moment. There is an authority. But we are in the times of Book of Revelations, or are we? Here's the irony of what I'm going to come with the big twist. Let me just leave you with this before we go. When there's a serial killer, there's usually a copycat. So when there's a book, and there is a book of revelations that everybody knows that people can be manipulated and controlled through fear of things like that, some of these things can be staged. I'm not saying that the end times is not something that is coming through. I'm not saying that time is an illusion. I'm not saying that governance and order is just a structure of a belief system that you are given. What I'm saying is there's a lot of stuff going on that is manipulating people and using people as pawns right now in a political war that people don't need to be part of. But do we have to stand up? Yes, we do. Do we have to rise up? Yes, we do. Do we fight? No. Do we play part of their game? No. Everybody is to bow back, step back, and come out of it and take the time now to prepare. This is a time of preparation. This is a time of coming to the end of summer. We are going into autumn. I am telling you all, and I have been telling you for all such a long time. If only I still had the interview at Anonymous. I said I didn't know enough about permaculture. I will find you people. Communities must come together. I don't know the gestations of seeds and timings, but you must harvest as much as you can soon. I'm not telling you to go out and get lots of bulk grow and go crazy in the shops and all of this sort of stuff and make things worse. I'm just telling you now that we're just coming to the end of summer. It is time to celebrate. It is time to enjoy. It is time to start thinking about preparing the outside of our home, making sure all of our garden is cut, making sure that we've got lovely flowers, making sure that we've got fruits and all of the necessities, and making sure that we can start getting into. We haven't got to winter yet, guys, so slow down. We're not in winter. We've got another season to go through. We've got autumn to go through. But in order to get into autumn, we've got to really think about this. We don't ever really think about the true nature. So it means we have to come back to the seasons. So again, we're in summer. We're coming over into autumn. I think is it the 23rd of September? So we're coming into it soon. On the 11th of September, my university, where I graduated from, is doing a My Story. And it's a really big day, and I'm going to go for it. So coming into autumn, everybody really needs to be thinking about cleansing, clearing out, getting rid of all of the crap. This isn't about drinking. This isn't about smoking. This isn't about partying hard. This is about a proper, real detox to prepare yourself. Because every person who steps into the 7 sins now is going into, we've, you know, we're going to be moving into great times. There's a massive big alignment, but at this particular time it's very rocky because we've got people playing around with our Platos, we've got people playing around with our atmosphere, we've got people playing around with people's minds, we've got people playing around with people's belief systems and structures, we've got people playing with maternal instincts, and our government during this lockdown has even played with natural balance of all of the children during this period that have come into this earth because they've been induced. I don't know if all of them have been induced, I can't say that, but I'm saying that a high amount of births have been induced during this time rather than the natural order of the alignment of the planets that they would come into. Millionaires, people like that, they don't study astrology. People in lower levels, what we class as middle class, lower class, people sitting on benefits, don't tend to. A lot of people on benefits, by the way, are very gifted, very talented, they just don't believe in themselves. And they're the people that we came to find. the people in the benefit systems that have talents and skills and gifts that if I said to them, "Who are you?" they wouldn't know. They're the people that I came for. I came for the people who have not had the opportunity of somebody tapping them on the shoulder and saying, "Hey, have you ever actually really thought about your life? Do you have a bucket list? If you want to call it a bucket list, I don't really like the word bucket list because it's not about kicking the bucket, it's about celebrating life. Have you got goals? Have you got ambitions? Have you got hopes, dreams? Did you ever really find out who you truly were? Or did you just go through the education system, see your parents, and come back through? And did you never really get to find out who you wanted to be when you grew up? They're the people that I came for. And tonight really, really taught me a lesson of how important my gifts and skills are to the world around me and the people that I interact with. Just in the time of speaking to somebody who'd come over from Zimbabwe, and we were talking about what he came over, and he's been over since he's 4, what his family's expectations were. And obviously people just they've ended up setting up a company, and actually there are carers. They're the people that are out caring, their family are caring for people. But I asked him, where his talents and everything was, and he does his music, he does all his stuff, but people just don't know how to monopolize on that. They don't know how to strategize on that. They don't know how to turn what they do, what they love, into not worrying about money, because it's not about the money. Money is just the blessing that exchanges time and service, but it's also not, because Jesus came to turn the table temples over. We weren't meant to live that way. So it's a very, very rocky time. And the reason that it's rocky is because people don't like change. It's like going into Asda and not knowing where the coffee is because they've changed everything around. And you're like, it's that moment, it's that peak in between where people just don't like change. The only change you need to do is the change that you choose to change within your own changing life, or not choose to change. There's nothing wrong with the world. The world is absolutely beautiful. It's magnificent. It's one of the most beautiful creations. I'm sure Mars is just as lovely. I'm sure Jupiter is just as lovely. There's nothing wrong with discovering planets. There's nothing wrong with people wanting to know whether there are other Earths. I have seen evidence of the Star Child. Obviously, you know this because I was at Whistleblower's house and I had got a lot of information, blah, blah, blah. And one of them was seeing that. So I have actually seen that. That's blown my mind, and I still haven't got my head around it. And I don't really want to go any further into that sort of stuff because I used to watch X Files when I was younger. And I don't know. I think when I first come onto this track and people were telling me they were getting disappeared in the ear probes and stuff, I thought they'd taken too much drugs. I'm not a naysayer of it, and I'm not a supporter or a pro of it. But I think Donald Trump has done amazing, amazing to unmask, and uncover a lot of what goes on at the bunkers. And obviously, I do know. I mean, yeah, don't be so stupid. I mean, I used to absolutely love Roswell's and all of that stuff. And there was a period in my life I was just mesmerized by a lot of that stuff. But I don't particularly want to go down that rabbit hole right now because I understand about, I can't think of the name of it, but Neb something and all of that. I get all of that stuff. My dad was a massive big Star Trek fan, and I used to watch Star Trek with my dad every Tuesday. I've seen every Star Trek. So, but I've also seen westerns, and I remember cowboys and Indians. So, but I don't remember them physically. But I know that still goes on in the world. The world is so different. And if you went around America and you went on Route 66, I'm sure I'd probably not called Route 66 6, but whatever. All the lifestyles would be so different. People still live as, in their own little worlds, in their own land. And we were entitled to that. We were entitled to our own land and to grow and things like that. What we were not entitled to was to be raped and pillaged and murdered and things like this. So, and to be manipulated and controlled. So, yes, we should look after each other. Yes, we should safeguard, but we shouldn't be dictating and telling people how we should be living right now. And we certainly shouldn't be fear mongering people in order to follow, which is gaslighting. And also, if that was a family and a relationship, it would be domestic violence. So, our government needs to take responsibility for the consequences and actions of their governance and whether it has affected the people. And that's where we need to come in right now and prepare and take time out and go, look, this is where our lives are now. Look, however we got to where we are now, all we have to ask is, this where we want to be? What sort of home do we want to live in? Do we want that permanence? Do you want to travel? Do you want to base? What are your gifts? What are your talents? What have you never, ever, ever, ever tried before, but you just think awesome? What is it, like me as a little girl, mesmerized by the floor routines in gymnastics? And I guarantee you, if I ever get on a gymnastics floor, I will fucking ace it and be probably perfect. But I was always told it was too short. But for a short person, I better rock it. Find those things. What did you want to be when you were 11? What did you want to be when you grew up? Try being that now. So, anyway, I'm going to go and most of them are talking French. That's the irony. I asked them what they were speaking tonight, and they went, I don't know, they're speaking French. So I think that's French. Love it. African beats. Seriously. I don't know if I would spread it to the world at the moment, but let's try and find a Christian version of African beats. That would be good because a lot of it's a bit smutty in it. So, and I don't like all of that stuff. So I couldn't imagine me being like that really. So anyway, guys, let's find out why this solicitor is searching me. Maybe I'll contact him. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's normal. Maybe I could just do with a chat with him. So I'm going to get in contact and find out what's going on. So whatever you're doing, just remember, ask yourself, why are you conditioned to the routine that you live? Everybody has a routine. Everybody has. I could put private investigators out on all of you and I would find a routine and pattern in every single one of you. But that's why you have it. Just wake up in the morning and go and do what you would usually do and go, why do I do this? And the next thing, okay, why do I do this? Is this the right thing? Is this going to help me be the best version of myself? Healthily, happily, thriving, happy, healthy, thriving relationships, loving and being true to yourself, being amazing mother, amazing partner, amazing daughter, amazing son, or blah 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 blah, and just the best of your version of what you are, not in competition with anybody else. It's not about that. If you want to compete with things on stuff, brilliant, but shake hands with each other and like in netball, 3 cheers and all of that. But it's about co-creating, isn't it? And if you co-create with the universe and with Mother Earth and the Lord and your blessings, and everybody co-created in what they do and love, then we would have a pretty cool, awesome planet, really. So why would you want to live to less than you could ever be if you've got one chance here on earth to be the best version of yourself? And that's how I feel about life. If I've got a shorter time than everybody else, my hips fucked after tonight, but worth it. Um, so, and I think things are changing with the social worker. I don't know what this solicitor's about. It's got me on edge, but we'll see. And I know I do realize, and I am very aware that I am also dealing with trauma in this current reality that I'm living in. So this current reality doesn't actually exist with the trauma. I get that. I know this. I'm very aware of that. But my trauma is relevant to my current life because my boys. So, and the police can pick me up at any point, section me at any point, arrest me at any point, take my kids off at any point. That's not paranoia. That is a reality in this current country. And they can do it on false information. They can do it on a section 47 just because a neighbour's made a call or your mum's concerned about you. They can investigate you over a 26-week period and take kids off you and even section you over 28 days if they fucking wanted to. So that is a real true reality. I used to think as long as I was a good person, I didn't commit crimes, I didn't have to worry about that stuff. I now realise in this country you only have to speak truth and you have to worry about that stuff. I never saw that side of life. So somebody even tonight before I go was really scared over something that I said and tried to run away from it and then come back to me and he said, you do realise people get killed for what you're talking about, like I can't have this conversation, and then come back and then because it was quite dark, got away with the conversation and sat and said, chatting great and blah 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 blah. But the reality was he was scared shitless of what I was talking about. And people are because they know and they've been told, so I don't know. I just think the world is very, very, very beautiful, and there's a world out here for me that I can be in, enjoy, and love. And I don't really have to know about all the other stuff. I don't even have to know anything about it, but I want to be able to know something about it. I want to be able to do something about it, and I want to be able to help people that are captivity from human trafficking, child trafficking, people who have never been given a choice, never been shown another way, people who've been foster care all their lives, never knowing true love from their mums and dads. If they can be reunited, fucking fantastic. And think about people like Josie. Josie right now has now turned to alcohol. What the fuck do I do? That girl's got to be in court like very soon, and she has lost her way, and it's killed her. She needs her daughter, but can she really be the mum she needs to be to her? Of course she can, but look at the damage that foster care has done to her, and it's like, but I haven't got the place and space to work the way that I really want to. And even the social worker today, I let her answer the door. I could have just hidden it; she'd have never known nothing, unless Graham started shouting, and that would have caused her concern. So I let her open the door, and Graham was actually very polite, very pleasant, and he didn't have a drink in his hand, luckily. But I even said, she said, anyway, I've got to go. I was like, no, don't go. Let me get rid of it first. So cool. So anyway, my hip is really killing me at the back, and I'm really feeling all of this. I got some tidying up to do. I do this because I want to sing. So guys, find your beat. Whatever music it is that you love, just find your beat. Find your beat in your music. Find your soul. Find that really deep place of yours that just makes you come alive. This is mine at the moment. I don't know how long for. Maybe I'll find something else. But this is the network I'm going to go and find for a bit, because this is where I'm. But also, I understand there is enticement and as well. So, but this is where I'm feeling I'm going for a bit. Catch you later, guys. Oh, God, my back.